Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with yet another brew review. And today I'm going to talk about something pride related. So if you are by any chance homophobic, fuck off kindly. On the other hand, if you were homophobic, there's no place for you on this channel anyway. So ciao. That being said, we are going to talk about Brooklyn Brewery. And this is a beer that I brought recently from France. This is the Stonewall Inn IPA. Now, I did recognize the name Stonewall Inn. I did recognize the name Brooklyn Brewery. But when researching this, or when reading the can, and I'm still a big fan of my little hats here. When researching this, at first, I noticed that the website here says beertime.france. And I thought, isn't Brooklyn Brewery like a legit brewery? Really? Apparently beertime.france is a distributor that also distributes, among others, Grimbergen, for example, in France. So it is actually, and I have confirmed this, from Brooklyn Brewery, the independent brewery in New York, and it does have a link with the Stonewall Inn. I'm going to do something that I don't often do, and that is read from the website. Why? Because it's too much for me to remember, and I do think it's important that we get to the history of this beer. So, the Stonewall Inn IPA, it's actually a session IPA, and I did see that in the States it's 5% and here it's 4.6%, but that's not unique. Stonewall Inn IPA, proudly an unapologetically refreshing IPA. The Stonewall Inn IPA is a fearless IPA for all, with unabashed notes of citrus peel and grapefruit. This unapologetic and refreshing IPA reminds us of where we've been and celebrates where we're going. This is a beer for everyone, no exceptions. The Stonewall Inn has been a beacon for the global LGBTQ+ pride movement since the famous Stonewall uprising in 1969. And that is exactly where I knew that name from. The Brooklyn Brewery is very proud to partner with the Stonewall Inn Gives Back initiative, SIGB for short, and to help make the world a more loving place, one beer at a time. Who wouldn't be happy with that? So it is a session IPA, 4.6% in this case, with citra hops. And apparently the tasting notes say lively citra hop notes of lemon peel and fresh grapefruit zest. I do want to mention the partnership because they do, and like I said, I find that this is important. So about SIGB. We have been proud to partner with the Stonewall Inn Gives Back initiative, or SIGB for short, since they started in 2017. SIGB is a non-profit charitable organization inspired by the struggles and ideals of the LGBTQ+ rights movement, born from the Stonewall Inn uprising in 1969. Through awareness campaigns, educational programming and fundraising, SIGB supports grassroots organizations and communities across the country, meaning US in this case. You can learn more about their work at their website, of course, and follow them at Stonewall Gives as their handle on socials. In addition to supporting SIGB through the Stonewall Inn IPA, we directly contribute to their work on an annual basis. Okay, so again, a charity beer. I love supporting charities and I love beer, so I don't see how this could go wrong. So I'm really hoping that it's tasty as well. Anywho, let's find out. Love the can, and that is actually the thing that caught my eye, because this was somewhere in a dark corner of the aisle, but I do tend to scan all of the beer aisle. And I saw this with this nice logo, a very classic American craft brewery logo. But then I saw these rainbow thingies going around, and it reminded me of a Super Mario Kart track. Now, big can, small glass, meaning I'll probably have 3 or 4 of these now. Okay, first thing that I notice is it is light, it is pale, it is ever so slightly hazy, so I'm guessing a New England variant, but with only Citra. But this could count as a light, hazy IPA. Ooh, love the foam as well. Nice white, slightly off-white, but thick and dense, just the way we love it. Okay, it does have a lot of Citra, but I do feel that it's not only Citra. I would not be surprised if this also had some mosaic, for example, which is also a nice combination. They didn't mention it on the website, nor do they on the can. Let me check before I'm lying. Nope, it's not mentioned on the can, but I would absolutely not be surprised if it's a combo, and of course there is nothing wrong with that. Tiny hat. Okay. So, let's have a taste. Cheers. Okay, I get the description. It is very light, it is very refreshing. It is quite carbonated. Even quite a lot carbonation. I do feel even more so now that they did use a combination of Citra and maybe something like a mosaic or something in that region. Because there is a lot of bitterness here as well. I do get a bunch of bitterness, a bunch of zest, a lot of grapefruit, but I do get a lot of that sticky bitterness from the white of the peel, and that is the part that you don't leave on your zest, but that is the part that I mainly taste right now. And I do feel that taste-wise, they extracted some alcohol. Now I know that in the States it's a 5%er and in France it's only 4.6, but it does have that weird side note, that weird side taste of extracted alcohol, like we have with a lot of alcohol-free beers or low alcohol beers. I don't really know what to do with this. But as I am tasting longer and more, I do get more of the Citra. So maybe my palate wasn't cleansed, and I had to get used to this, which is actually a thing. Depending on what you ate before, what you drank before, what you did, your palate does change sensitivities. For example, never taste beer purposefully after eating spicy food, for example. Pro tip. But I am getting more of the Citra now. And it's a session IPA, but the more I taste this, the more I do get the feeling that in a blind tasting, I would probably say this is a very light session, like 2 or 3%, or even alcohol-free, meaning 0.5 and below, because there's no booziness whatsoever. That's obviously masked by the carbon dioxide in here, But taste-wise, it is okay. It's not fantastic, but it's absolutely not bad either. So, And the aftertaste is really thin, but also pleasant, refreshing. That typical hop aftertaste. I am leaning more towards like Chinook right now. Yeah, could be. Turns out to be interesting after all. I might not be the biggest fan, but it is absolutely not bad either. So I do think that I'm going with a 325 here, which is unfortunate because of this Pride theme. I was looking forward to giving this a huge amount of points, but still, data over dogma. This is what the data tells me. And for those that did get that reference, yeah, that was Dan McClellan that I quoted. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a comment down below, hit the thumbs up. If you really like this video, share it with some people, maybe even visit the Patreon page, and for the small price of a beer, a cheap beer nonetheless, per month, you can support this channel. If you don't want to do that, fine by me. If you want to visit Antwerp, let me know and we'll have a drink in real life. And I will see you guys again in the next video. Cheers.